Good morning, class. Today we're going to take a look at where writers get ideas to write about. Specifically, we are going to look at ways that we can turn our personal experiences that we have had into writing. After you put away all of your things, come and join me at the front board and bring along your Writer's Workshop notebook and a pencil. As we discuss this, be thinking in your mind of different experiences that you would maybe like to write about. If you think of an experience while we are talking, make sure that you write it in your notebook or draw a picture. Writing about your experiences will help you become a stronger writer because you will have more topics to write about. The more experiences you have to write about, the more that you can share with others through writing. Okay, I'd like everyone to think in their minds of a specific moment or experience that they've had. Can you give me a thumbs up if that experience made you happy? How about a thumbs down if maybe it didn't make you happy, but made you feel maybe sad, upset, grumpy? Okay, I want you guys to write this experience in your notebook or draw a picture so that you always have something in your notebook that you could write about. And remember, any other time you think of an experience, you can add it to that list. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be talking about where writers get ideas. And sometimes when writers write, they either write about seeds, like they write seed stories or they write watermelon stories. Can you guys show me with your hands how big a watermelon is? And how big is the seed of the watermelon? Yeah, as we know, the seed of the watermelon is much smaller than the watermelon itself, right? So when we write, we want to write like we're writing a seed story. And I have here, we're going to see what a seed story is. On this side, you'll see what a seed story looks like. And on this side, you're going to see what a watermelon story looks like. And we want to write seed stories because seed stories are much easier for the reader to understand. So seed stories are very specific. Being specific helps the reader. It's very clear to the reader what the writer is trying to say. Seed stories are zoomed in. They magnify the specific moment that we're talking about. Seed stories have specific details, but not too many details, and the details help the writing easier to understand. Seed stories are about specific moments. Sometimes these are the most important moments of a big story. Watermelon ideas are often too broad. There's often too much information that they're trying to talk about that the reader can't comprehend. Watermelon stories are often not focused. Watermelon stories sometimes have too many details. And watermelon stories are not zoomed in enough. The picture isn't clear to the reader. You guys know how sometimes if you're looking at a picture on your phone or your camera and you want to look at something a little closer, so you zoom in, but we can't zoom in on writing, can we? If we're trying to read it, we can't zoom in on it. We expect the writer to write it zoomed in for us so we know what they're talking about. So a seed story is a smaller story that focuses on one event. And a watermelon story is a story with many events. We're going to take a look at a sample of writing, and you guys are going to tell me if you think it's a watermelon or a seed story. I'll read it to you. Saturday was a rainy day. I asked my mom if I could have my friend Ryan over, and she said yes. I called Ryan on the phone and asked him if he wanted to play. When Ryan got to my house, we didn't know what to do. We decided we would go play in the rain. We put on our rain boots and coats and went outside to jump in the puddles. We were having fun until Ryan slipped and fell. He started to cry and I asked him why. Ryan told me that he hurt his arm. He said that it felt very achy. I looked at his arm. It was scratched up and all red. His arm was very swollen too. I went inside and I got my mom. We took Ryan to the doctor and the doctor said that he broke his arm. My mom said, no more jumping in puddles for Ryan or I. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a watermelon or a seed story? Right, it was a seed story. And how do we know that it was a seed story? Not sure? Well, let's think. What was the main idea of this story? It was that Ryan broke his arm. But how do we know that that was the main idea? What did the writer tell us that helped us figure out that the main idea was that Ryan broke his arm? Yeah, they gave us a lot of details. They said it was very achy, his arm was scratched up, it was red, it was swollen. The writer gave us a lot of detail about that very specific moment that we knew that this whole page was going to be about Ryan breaking his arm. Yeah. Okay. I want you all to share with your neighbors why writers write about specific experiences. Okay, now that we have seen what a well-written watermelon and seed story looks like, we're going to create our own. I'm going to send you back to your seats and have you work quietly and independently. I want you to think of a moment or experience that you would like to share with the class and then write about it in your writer's workshop notebook. If you finish this task, try to make a list of other moments or experiences that you would like to write about in the future. Remember, I will be conferring while you work. If you need help trying to figure out how to make your seed story, take a look at this anchor chart. Always ask yourself, are you being specific enough? Is the reader going to have to zoom in on their own, or do you zoom in enough for them? Do you provide enough detail that the reader knows what you're talking about, but not too much detail that they're unsure what the main idea is? I'm going to post this on the wall, and if you need to go and take a look at it while you're writing, you know that you're okay to do so. Remember, I'll be conferring while you work. If your notebook is red, please go back to your seats and begin working. If your notebook is blue, and so on.